That's because you have a really cheap tester. Just so you know, my jeweler's in the back can make this ring for under $1,000.
Name I cannot use that gave this to my mother.
Someone took some old rose-cut diamonds and made this cross. This is not 300 years old.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
unfortunate.
This ring.
A customer brings in a diamond tiara that belonged to the First Lady. An expert was called to examine it.
Are fine quality for the period. They're what you would expect to see. The idea that this was convertible and has the fittings for both the brooch and also the tiara, and I think that's kind of neat. So the question becomes, what do we know about the provenance? How can we substantiate the provenance of the piece itself?
Greg confirms it's authentic.
Oh, there it is.
it's like the crown jewels of the United States.
It's an interesting looking piece. I'm the owner of Fred Layton. We specialize in vintage and antique jewelry, and we help people understand jewelry in the context of historical periods and also understand value.
Greg values it at $75,000 retail.
One of the events that was going on at the McKinley Museum, and it's featured there.
Well, certainly it does link in a fairly official way this piece to Ida McKinley. You know, how much value that adds it's a little bit of open to interpretation.
No deal was done. Diamond Tester is not able to test an original diamond. A customer comes in to purchase a 1975 Warriors ring for his fiancée.
I just got engaged, and I heard you had a 75 Golden State Warriors ring, and I was thinking that would be perfect for my fiancée.
Really?
Yeah.
The customer plans to spend max $7,500.
It's an impressive ring. I love the underdog.
Yeah, no one ever expected him to win that year. Most people didn't even expect him to go to the playoffs.
So what I did was I brought pictures of another 75 Golden State Warriors ring.
Okay.
And as far as the pictures are concerned, they match up.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Have you tested the diamond?
Oh,
on
yeah,
this?
it's a real diamond.
It's a real diamond, okay. What I wanted to do, just for my own sanity, to test the diamond.
Sure, go right ahead.
Okay, thank you.
His cheap tester fails, but the shop owner stands by the ring's quality.
Works fine on mine.
Okay, I will trust that.
11.5, it can be yours.
Well, that's your asking price. Is there, any wiggle room?
I'll go 11 grand.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay. I'm looking at like $5,500.
There's no way. I paid more than that.
Okay. You know what? Any
11 grand, that's what I can do.
That's your bottom line?
Yeah,
Okay.
best price.
The customer makes a final offer of $5,500. Rick declined, and the deal wasn't made. A glittering 300-year-old cross sparks debate in the pawn shop.
What do you have here?
Supposedly a 300-year-old cross.
Okay. It's Baroque style, which means that's gaudy jewelry time.
Can't pull it off these days.
A customer brings an antique Baroque-style cross.
Baroque basically means break in symmetry or something like that.
Okay.
Okay. And that's basically how they made jewelry back then. Baroque was a style of art and architecture known for being big, bold, and full of color. Authentic jewelry from that time period can sell for millions. So if this cross is truly over 300 years old,
The boy demands $8,000.
They go all the way up to 25,000 I've seen. And I figured leaving enough meat on the bones for you, I'd say 8,000.
one of the hard things with this stuff, though, is dating it. There's a lot of little things. You see all these serrations on the back?
Yeah.
Those are all done by hand. You can see all the imperfections and the different depths and everything like that. You can see that it was engraved.
But will take $5,500. The shop owner examines the cross closely. The owner spots modern soldering. He concludes the cross isn't 300 years old.
No European hallmarks, and this would have been made in Europe.
Right.
And this is a different color gold than this color. That's soldered on there.
Okay.
Which is...
Not a good sign.
Well, you didn't have a blowtorch. Which tells me someone took some old rose-cut diamonds and made this cross. This is not 300 years old.
The owner offers only $200 for the gold value.
Yeah,
That's unfortunate. Not what I was expecting.
No, you got like $200 for the gold there.
The seller decided to seek a second opinion and left. A man walks into the pawn shop with a huge gem in his hand.
Davey, what's up?
I need some money.
Okay.
Got a family heirloom. So check that out. It's a kunzite.
A kunzite.
Kunzite.
You sure it's just not a fancy piece of glass?
It's been in my family for generations and generations. That's all I know.
They only discovered the stone like right around 1900, so it hasn't been in for generations and generations.
Rick decides to meet the expert. Experts declare it natural. Let's have a look at its worth.
More money?
I'm gonna have Jeff, my gemologist, check it out.
Well, you don't trust me? You don't think it's real?
No, I don't.
Come on. You know it's real.
The expert declares it for $9,600.
All stones have clarity characteristics which can help identify them. If it's glass, most likely there's going to be air bubbles. And so what I can see in here are...
And the man wants 15 grand. After negotiation, the deal was locked at $6,500.
I feel it's worth 15 grand.
9,600 if I need one. I don't need one, okay?
It's big. It deserves big money.
I'll give you 5 grand. I mean, just plain and simple, it's gonna sit for a long time.
15 grand, 5 grand, 10 grand. I'll go 10 G's.
No.
Please?
I have to mount it in something which is gonna cost me a fortune because it's gonna be using a lot of gold because it's gonna be a big mounting.
Where are we gonna end? Meet in the middle? 7,500?
I'll give you 6 grand.
7,500?
6 grand.
65?
Dealer claims buttons from Marie Antoinette.
My buttons, they belong to Marie Antoinette.
Marie Antoinette. Do you know a lot about Marie Antoinette?
He sought $10,000 for the set. Rick found quality and rarity.
What makes you think they belong to Marie Antoinette?
On the box is the Bourbon coat of arms, which is something Marie Antoinette would have had on all of her possessions.
Yes, the Bourbons were a long line of kings and queens in France. Bourbons was the family name. And after Marie Antoinette was married to Louis XVI, she became a Bourbon. Louis XVI could not have run the government worse. The utter poverty of the people in France, and they're looking at people living in Versailles, living the life of luxury, eventually led to the French Revolution, and what are we going to do with the king and queen? And they just decided, let's just chop their heads off.
Rick spots modification, so he claims buttons are fake.
Do you mind if I look at them?
Sure, of course, go ahead. These were called paste diamonds. They're sort of like glass diamond.
Paste was a big thing. What it basically is, this is glass with lead melted in it. This is definitely something fancy enough to be worn by a queen.
Yeah, from what I understood, it's very rare, actually, that you would have a set of buttons that survive complete.
A complete set is rare.
Rick offers $2,000. The seller counters, and they settle on $3,500.
We do $4,500.
I'll go 3 grand. There's a royal connection, but we don't know how far down the line.
I really don't want to go less than $3,500. I think it's fair.
Both parties were satisfied with the deal. A customer brings Cardinal and claims that Pop gave it to him.
What can I help you with?
I have a Cardinals ring I'd like to sell you.
Baseball or football?
Neither. This kind.
Oh, this kind.
That's right.
I think I did that right.
The customer refused to tell Rick its original price. An expert was called.
It's from the 19th century, and we know that because of the jeweler, a gentleman by the name of Fromont Marie. You'll see his name on there.
Fromont Maurice is a big name in jewelry. They even have really exquisite pieces that are in the Louvre. If this was manufactured by them, it's worth a lot more money. Why do you think it's a Cardinals ring?
One of the gemologists that I took it to do some research on it indicated that it had to be some type of religious icon.
Cardinals, I know there's over 100 of them.
Yeah.
And I think their official title is like they're a Prince of Rome.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the center stone is?
Experts claim that it's older than the man claims. Rick eyed the stones, considering a second opinion.
Well, for the ring itself, I'd love to get 6,000.
Okay.
I've been told by the gemologists that appraise it is that they're not the highest quality stones. I'm not trying to represent or sell this on the basis of the stone. The value is the value in antiquity, it's value in history.
But the thing is, I have to verify that it's actually a Cardinals ring.
See, I have faith because I've had the ring in my possession.
If it's a Cardinals ring, I mean, it's definitely going to add a lot of value on top of everything else. Let me go give someone a call. I'll get them down here, find out if it's a Cardinals ring, okay?
Sounds good, sir.
All right, I'll be right back.
Thank you.
The deal was finalized at 2 grants. A bald man entered the shop with a notorious mafia ring.
Piece of antique heirloom jewelry that my mother passed along to me. It was the signet ring of the mafia boss, Lucky Luciano.
This used to belong to Lucky Luciano?
That was made for Lucky Luciano. I've had it in hiding for 40 years.
Why would you have it in hiding?
Because this represents his authority. If anybody got possession of this piece, until now, there would have been bloodshed and war within the families.
A 6-figure claim prompts Rick to call in an expert.
Okay. You got any paperwork on this?
You won't find any paperwork on it. I've gone to as many archives as I can come up with. I've checked with friends in the FBI. I had a person describe it to me over the phone, having never met me. And he said, oh, you mean that piece with the diamond for the heart and the rubies for the eyes? Guy had never met me before. And I said, you saw it? He goes, yeah, when I was a kid.
The expert is unsure. No deal has been made yet.
At this point, I'd keep on doing some research. Maybe you can find a picture. Maybe you can find some evidence. But for now, there's nothing I can do. Okay, have a good one, man.
Thanks. I think that if I do a little more research, I'm actually going to prove the piece's authenticity. And I think I'm going to be able to get some real...
This woman discovers some buttons from the Civil War.
Some Civil War Navy buttons that I want to sell.
Cool. Did you tear apart a jacket or something? Or?
Previous owner's grandfather was enlisted in the Navy during the Civil War.
Okay, he was Union, right?
Yes, he was.
The Navy was kind of like the unsung heroes of the Civil War. The North just brought the ships down, blockaded all the ports. It crippled the South. I mean, they couldn't buy anything. I mean, they couldn't get bullets for their guns. Everything was rationed.
I had no idea.
Corey decides to call an expert for checking.
Tied to that time period.
You told me earlier 1,300. I'm sure there's probably like a grading system for these. Pristine ones like this one, I would say is in really good shape. Compared to this one, not so much. That being said, I'll start off around $200.
Expert claim their authenticity. They finalize at $500.
How about 1,000? Some had different values online than other ones.
I think I can probably make some decent money off them. It's gonna take me a long time to do it. I'll go up to 400. I'm not paying any more though. I'm really not.
600 and you have a deal.
I'll pay you 5. That's it.
All right, you got a deal.
Deal? All right, cool. You gonna pack these up and meet me over there?
All right.
A broker brings in a 2004 New England Patriots Super Bowl ring.
I want to sell a ring today.
Okay. Holy.
Got the mother of all Super Bowl rings.
Awesome.
The biggest and baddest.
Let me try that thing on. I feel like a champion.
They belong to Ricky Bryant. Rick called an expert.
Usually you would see that not only in a different location, but it looks to be actually hand engraved rather than actually out of the machine. Now, as far as the rest of the ring, I mean, the weight, the diamonds, everything else looks to be legit. Just the markings on the bottom there, it's certainly a little bit different than other rings I've seen.
The expert confirms its authenticity. The ring's value was estimated at $35,000.
Different than all the other Super Bowl rings in the past. They put so much into this ring, gold, diamonds, and everything. This thing was so enormous, it didn't fit inside Jocelyn's normal ring engraver. They actually had to have somebody laser engrave each and every ring, as you see here.
Okay, cool.
So this ring is 100% legit, and it's pretty awesome.
Sweet. So what do you think it's worth?
Well, we have a ring from one of the most popular teams ever. It's loaded with gold and diamonds. Super Bowl rings from players such as this sell from about $30,000 to $35,000.
Nice, nice.
They settle on $21,000 after negotiation. Family grills Rick on his latest Super Bowl ring purchase.
You don't have anything like this in your showcases. I know you have a Patriots ring, but you don't have that Patriots ring.
I'll give you 20 grand.
Pass.
20 grand. Cash. $100 bills.
If you go 20, you go 21.
Just because I need a Super Bowl ring for every one of my fingers. Deal.
Deal.
All right, write him up, chum. The guy was definitely a tough negotiator.
A customer brings in a ring she claims is from the 18th dynasty.
It was given to me by my father a couple of years before he passed away.
She inherited it from her father. Rick examines the ring. Rick's called an expert.
But believe it or not, I know someone who is.
Really? No kidding.
Yes, I do. Give me 5 minutes.
Okay.
I'm gonna give him a call and see what he thinks of it.
That sounds good.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right, thanks.
The expert confirms the scarab is likely 3,000 years old. But the gold setting is from the early 1900s.
Is it real?
And brought my little magnifying glass along here so that maybe you guys can see as well. Right there is a sun, a rake, and a scarab. Underneath it, an ibis. And that says to me 18th dynasty. And King Tut came from this dynasty. Usually one of these went in almost every mummy. So, and there were a lot of people that died in all those thousands of years, so there are quite a few of these in Egypt, is what I'm trying to say. Now, the second thing you have to look at with this, that when I study the gold work on this, can you see the rope work on there? That sort of gold work is very indicative of like turn of the century, 1900 to maybe like 1905, 1910.
The ring's value was estimated at $450 to $500.
1,500?
No, it makes no economic sense for me to do this. I can literally make these for $450.
500.
No. I'm being really, really nice at $350. I really am.
375?
I'll tell you what, I will give you $360.
All right, I'll take it.
We got a deal then.
We got a deal.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe for more incredible content. Stay tuned.